the 7th largest country by area, the 2nd most populous country with over 1.2 billion people, and the most populous democracy, India is one of the oldest civilizations in the world. After having gained independence in 1947, India became self-sufficient in agricultural production and is now one of the top industrialized countries and amongst the largest emerging economies in the world. Despite all these developments, India remains a developing country, and eradication of poverty still remains a challenge for successive governments. Poverty has always been prevalent at any given point of time and place in the history of the world. That explains why constructive efforts have been made by governments of all countries to lower the incidence of poverty in various forms. After gaining independence, India has grown as a planned economy. Since then to the present day, we find multiple anti-poverty programs initiated by the Government of India. The most important of these programs would include the Public Distribution System or PDS from almost the start of independence, and later the Targeted Public Distribution System 1997, Sampurna Gramin Rozgar Yojana 2002, Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarozgar Yojana 1999, Integrated Rural Housing Program 1999-2000, Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana Rural Shelter 2000-2001, Prime Minister's Rozgar Yojana 1993, Innovative Stream for Rural Housing and Habitat Development National Food for Work Program 2004, Rural Employment Generation Program 1995, Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana 2000, Integrated Wastelands Development Program 2004, Antyodaya Anna Yojana 2000, Swarna Jayanti Shahri Rozgar Yojana 1997, Valmiki Ambedkar Awas Yojana Vambe 2001, and most lately the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2005, which has also brought in some of the previously started schemes under its umbrella. The number of poverty alleviation programs suggests the importance the government has always felt towards alleviating poverty in order to build a developed society and country. The liberalization process started in the early 90s has seen massive growth and shift in India's economic structure from an agrarian economy wherein agriculture comprised 60% of the GDP to a service economy wherein services comprise a massive 75% of the GDP. However, despite this massive shift in India's economic structure, the rural-urban distribution stands at 68.84% to 31.16% according to the findings of the 2011 census. In June 2011, the Government of India through the Ministry of Rural Development embarked upon the world's largest poverty reduction program with a focus on women, the National Rural Livelihoods Mission or NRLM, which has been named Ajivika. Taking a cue from past experience and lessons from many livelihood programs that demonstrated the value in building self-managed institutions of the poor and their amalgamation for effective poverty reduction, this latest initiative is called a mission and not a program.
Glad to share you, we are introduced to Hasnabad village. This village is a modern village in that locality. MSRLM form 18 self-help group and one village organization, namely Savitribai Phule Village Organization. Through that, we have worked various social issues like sanitary blocks, drinking water, etc. And as a livelihood block manager, it is my responsibility to study the natural resources in village and to provide sustainable livelihood to needy people. Thank you.
Accordingly, the National Rural Livelihoods Mission may be stated as poverty elimination through social mobilization, institution building, financial inclusion, and a portfolio of sustainable livelihoods. NRLM is thus built on the 4 pillars of social inclusion, financial inclusion, economic inclusion, and social safety nets. Being a mission, its values were defined and set as inclusion, transparency, people's participation, building ownership of the poor, and community self-reliance. This effectively brought about a paradigm shift in the focus and approach in its implementation by making it see beyond targets, committed to outcome, and process-oriented. This mission set out with an agenda to cover 7 crore rural poor households across 600 districts, 6,000 blocks, 2.5 lakh gram panchayats, and 6 lakh villages in the country through self-managed self-help groups or SHGs and federated institutions, and support them for livelihood collectives in a period of 8 to 10 years. The NRLM will be funded jointly by the Government of India and the World Bank over a period of the next 7 years. While the Government of India will invest $5.1 billion, including the expected allocation for the 12th 5-year plan, the World Bank is committing $1 billion through its National Rural Livelihoods Project, its largest ever single investment in a poverty reduction program.
Now, from the World Bank side, we have been working on a lot of poverty reduction approaches sectorally for a very long time. But we also found that unless and until we invest in the poor people themselves, their own institutions, their own capacity, their own social capital, marry it with the financial capital, which is the financial inclusion part of it, and then with the innovation, which is the creativity of a lot of entrepreneurs who are in the country and businesses and all who don't really spend time with the poor. If these three come together, then we are creating a different ecosystem for poverty reduction, which is different from a conventional subsidy kind of a system in which people participate in programs to get subsidies, but we don't leave behind either their own institutions or their own finances or sources of innovation to go to.
Situated in Western India, Maharashtra accounts for 9.5% of the country's population and 9.4% of its area. The state has always been in the vanguard of political, social, cultural, educational and economic reforms and development of India. Maharashtra has always been the vanguard of social reforms and development, led by such stalwarts such as Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, Mahatma Jyotiba and Savitribai Phule, Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj, Gopal Ganesh Agarkar, Maharishi Karve, Mahadev Govind Ranade and many others. Formed as a separate state of the Indian Union on the 1st of May 1960, Maharashtra has a rural population of 5.57 crore, of which 2.05 crore people, or approximately 45 lakh households, languish below the poverty line, and the HDI of 19 districts in the state is lower than the national index according to the 2001 census. Designed on the architecture of a corporate house, the Honorable Chief Minister of the state was designated as the chairman of MSRLM. The Maharashtra State Rural Livelihoods Mission, MSRLM, Umed, was launched in July 2011 as a registered society under the aegis of the National Rural Livelihoods Mission. The MSRLM is structured as a 3-tier committee comprising the general body, with the Honorable Chief Minister of the State of Maharashtra as the chairman, the governing body with the Minister of State R&D as chairman, and the Executive Committee with the Principal Secretary, Department of Rural Development as the chairman.
We're thankful for the support by the World Bank. And I think the change of mindset, that is not a charitable activity, that we should not do it out of philanthropic concerns, that also is important. But because poor are eminently bankable, poor make business sense, and to bring this poor into the national economic mainstream will be highly beneficial for the society. And with that understanding, we need to give confidence to these poor families that they matter, that they are already working very hard to survive. If their energies are channeled properly, if they're giving some skill sets, some economic empowerment with some bank loans, given some skill so that they can begin earning a livelihood in a different manner, more organized manner.
That in the next 5 years, we must ensure that every woman from a poor family is a member of a self-help group. Today, we have 2.5 million self-help groups in the country with about 3 crore women as members. In the next 5 years, we want to increase the number of women self-help groups from 2.5 million to about 6 million, and the number of women members from about 3 crores to 7 crores. That is the broad objective of the National Rural Livelihoods Mission.
Mr. Shah mentioned, has Gadchiroli, has Nandurbar, has many districts in central Maharashtra called Marathwada, where the human development index is very poor. And this is the real challenge before our Maharashtra Rural Livelihood Mission. I believe that wherever there is growth, there is life. Without growth, I don't think there is any life. And the poorest of poor of Maharashtra should be involved in an inclusive growth.
With the appointment of a chief executive officer and an additional director, a functional state mission management unit was established with 1 deputy director, 9 state coordinators, 14 support staff and 3 deputation staff. These functional teams were trained at the district and block levels. As soon as it was launched, the assistant project officers from the DRDAs took charge as district project managers, along with 2 extension officers taking charge as block coordinators, which form the MSRLM district and block teams respectively. Umed is staffed with a rich mix of sectoral expertise and administrative experience. It takes a pluralistic approach to poverty eradication and will leverage the existing best practices, knowledge and expertise in the sector by forging strategic partnerships with the Society for the Elimination of Rural Poverty, Kudambashri, Mahila Arthik Vikas Mahamandal, Tata Institute of Social Sciences Mumbai and the Society for Elimination of Rural Poverty.
This poverty, so far the experience has told us that is not a single face problem or is a multi-dimensional. It has so many facets that we cannot attack this poverty by going in a single direction. So for the beneficiary agency kind of relationship, we have to change. Now the entire focus is that until and unless we have the capacity building, the institutional building, the social development, apart from, in addition to that, the financial inclusion and all the convergences, either they are in the private sphere or in the public sector or in the community based, they all too have to be channelized in single direction so that we have a very impactful intervention on the poverty alleviation.
The Maharashtra State Rural Livelihoods Mission or MSRLM thus got underway with 10 districts identified on the basis of ranking on the HDI index, IAP districts, geographical location, etc. They include Gadchiroli, Wardha, Yavatmal, Osmanabad, Jalna, Ratnagiri, Nandurbar, Solapur, Thane and Gondia. Losing no time, posts of 53 cluster coordinators or CCs were sanctioned at the Zilla Parishad constituency level across the 10 districts and the process for recruitment of the CCs in the resource blocks was completed. The CCs underwent induction program at MSRLM and were inducted at Kakinada in East Godavari district with the help of the Society for Elimination of Rural Poverty, SERP. 10 young professionals were selected through campus placements from IRMA, IIFM and TISS. A total of 36 blocks in these districts were selected based on criteria such as percentage of SC/ST, number of BPL families, block HDI, number of SHGs or self-help groups formed in the block under various schemes and better cooperation from banks, etc. The mission of MSRLM is to engage the poor and marginalized communities intensively in these 10 districts, whereas the remaining 23 districts in the state will be covered under a non-intensive intervention strategy in a phased manner.
महाराष्ट्र राज्य ग्रामीण जीवनोन्नती अभियानामध्ये जिल्हा अभियान व्यवस्थापक म्हणून मी नंदुरबार जिल्ह्यामध्ये सध्या काम करत आहे. उत्तरेला सातपुड्याच्या पर्वतरांगांमध्ये नर्मदा तापीच्या खोऱ्यामध्ये आणि गुजरात आणि मध्य प्रदेशच्या सीमावर्ती भागामध्ये हा नंदुरबार जिल्हा वसलेला आहे. सरदार सरोवर प्रकल्प असेल, कुपोषण असेल, हंगामी होणारं स्थलांतर असेल, या सगळ्या मुद्द्यांमुळे हा जिल्हा तसा सगळ्यांना परिचित राहिलेला आहे. महाराष्ट्र ग्रामीण जीवनोन्नती अभियानामध्ये नंदुरबार जिल्हा हा आता इंटेन्सिव्ह जिल्हा म्हणून निवडण्यात आलेला आहे. यामध्ये अक्कलकोवा आणि धडगाव या 2 तालुक्यांमध्ये आंध्र प्रदेशचं मॉडेल रिसोर्स ब्लॉक स्ट्रॅटेजी म्हणून या ठिकाणी राबवण्यात येत आहे. साधारणतः मागचा इतिहास जर बघितला तर मोठ्या प्रमाणामध्ये वेगवेगळ्या शासकीय कार्यक्रमांमधनं, योजनांमधनं महिला गटाची संकल्पना मांडण्यात येऊन मोठ्या प्रमाणामध्ये महिलांचं संघटन झालं, बांधणी झाली. पण ज्या पद्धतीने त्या उपजीविकेच्या संधी उपलब्ध करून देणं आणि त्यांना विकसित करणं गरजेचं होतं, तर त्यामध्ये बऱ्याचशा मर्यादा दिसून आल्यात. इथलं दळणवळणाची साधनं असतील, बाजारपेठेचा अभाव असेल, वेगवेगळ्या प्रक्रियांमुळे, कारणांमुळे जंगलाचा सातत्याने होणारा ऱ्हास असेल, शेती सिंचनाबद्दलचे प्रश्न असतील, या सगळ्यांमुळेच इथल्या आदिवासी समुदायाच्या उपजीविकेच्या संधी तशा ह्या मर्यादित राहिल्या आणि फारशा विकसित होऊ शकल्या नाही. परंतु आता या अभियानाच्या निमित्ताने एक संधी गावाकडे चालून आलेली आहे. पूर्वी गट म्हणून टार्गेट ओरिएंटेड ह्या दृष्टिकोनातनं जे काम उभं होत होतं, ते आता या जीवनोन्नती अभियानामध्ये कुटुंब हा घटक मानून प्रत्येक कुटुंबातली महिला गटामध्ये कशी आली पाहिजे आणि गटाच्या माध्यमातून संघटित होऊन विकासाच्या वेगवेगळ्या प्रक्रियांमध्ये तिचा सहभाग कसा मिळवता येईल आणि त्यातनं तिच्या आर्थिक उन्नतीचे मार्ग कसे तिला दाखवून देता येईल, याचे वेगवेगळे प्रयोग अभियानाच्या निमित्ताने या 10 जिल्ह्यांमध्ये सुरू आहे. ज्या काही महिला प्रशिक्षण घेऊन गाव परिसरात आलेल्या आहेत, त्यांनी महिलांना आपले प्रश्न मांडणं, संघटित होणं, त्याच्यासाठी प्रयत्न करणं, आर्थिक व्यवहारांमध्ये सुसूत्रता आणणं, दशसूत्रीचं कशा पद्धतीने चांगलं काम आपल्याला उभं करता येईल, याच्यावर आत्ता जरी भर देण्यात येत असला तरी भविष्यामध्ये मात्र इथल्या नैसर्गिक संसाधनांवर आधारित शाश्वत उपजीविका आपल्याला कशी उभी करता येईल, या दृष्टीने इथल्या महिला आता विचार करायला लागल्या आहेत, त्यावर बोलू लागलेल्या आहेत. आणि आता जरी हे जन्माला आलेलं बाळ जरी असलं तरी पुढच्या येत्या काळामध्ये सातपुड्याच्या दऱ्याखोऱ्यातल्या महिला या आदिकन्या शक्ती म्हणून ओळखल्या जातात आणि आपली ही जी काही शक्ती आहे, तर इथल्या ह्या सगळ्या आदिकन्या महिला स्वयंसहायता गटाच्या माध्यमातून देशाच्या पातळीवरच्या बाजारपेठेपर्यंत आपल्या गटातनं उत्पादित माल जो काही असेल तो घेऊन जातील आणि आपल्या विकासाचा मार्ग स्वतः तयार करतील. हा विश्वास हा अभियान इथल्या महिलांना देतो आहे आणि हाच विश्वास, हीच उमेद, हीच आशा इथल्या महिलांना आपल्या विकासासाठी एक जिद्द आणि प्रेरणा देते आहे. लोकसहभागातून गाव विकास झाला पाहिजे आणि विकासाची प्रक्रिया ही वरून खाली न येता खालून वर गेली पाहिजे, हा विचार गेल्या दशकभरामध्ये वेगवेगळ्या कार्यक्रम आणि योजनांच्या माध्यमातून आपण मांडत आलो आहे. पण या अभियानाच्या निमित्ताने खऱ्या अर्थानं ते गाव पातळीवर ही प्रक्रिया रुजवण्यासाठी एक चांगली संधी लोकांना मिळते आहे.
In keeping with the shift in the envisioning of the mission from an agency-beneficiary equation to a more holistic and equal partnership with the communities, MSRLM aims at the eradication of rural poverty by building sustainable institutions of the poor and ultimately leading them to sustainable livelihoods. The conceptualization and design of the MSRLM goes beyond income generation activities and employment programs to serve as a catalyst in capacity building, financial inclusion, social mobilization and marketing services as equally important elements of livelihood enhancement. Building and strengthening institutions of the poor, putting in place dedicated support structures for such institutions and drawing upon their skills, knowledge and desire to overcome poverty form the core of the mission. Creating an institutional architecture that is both enabling and empowering for the poor to access better livelihoods and improve their standards of living is one of the key objectives of the mission in Maharashtra. Such an architecture would allow a coalescence of multiple stakeholders, including community-led initiatives, civil society organizations, private and corporate bodies, state agencies, as well as individuals involved in pioneering and innovative work. In this context, a forum for identifying, supporting and promoting innovative and scalable interventions was located and proposed. Called the Maharashtra Rural Livelihoods Innovation Forum or MRLIF, it is seen to be critical for the mission as a whole, bringing in its fold good practices and livelihood innovations that are replicable and also forging strategic partnerships with agencies and individuals in the state.
आमचा गट हा 22/2/6 चालू झाला. आमच्या गटाला कमीत कमी 7 वर्ष झाले. त्याच्यामध्ये 11 महिला सदस्य काम करते आणि हे टेराकोटा मातीची ज्वेलरी आम्ही 4 वर्ष झाले आम्ही सुरुवात केली आहे आणि आमच्या गटाला चांगल्याच तऱ्हेने मार्केट मिळून राहिले आणि आमचा हा माल दिल्ली, मुंबई, कलकत्ता अशा ठिकाणी जाऊन पोचला आहे. मोठमोठ्या ठिकाणी आमच्या मालाची विक्री होत आहे. आम्हाला DRD मार्केटकडून खूप मदत मिळाली. त्यांच्याकडून पैसासुद्धा आम्हाला काम करायसाठी मिळाला. तसेच बँकेतून 1,60,000 रुपये लोन मिळाले, ते पण परतफेड केली आहे. आणि असं वाटते की आम्हाला पुढे चालून आमचा हा उद्योग वाढला पाहिजे. पुन्हा आम्हाला मार्केटिंग जर मिळाली, कोणत्या कार्यक्रमाला गेलं हे मार्केटिंग जर मिळाली न कोणाची मदत असली तर आम्ही पुढं आणखीन चालून हा उद्योग आम्ही वाढू शकतो. आम्हाला सगळ्या मदतीची गरज आहे.
Maharashtra Rural Livelihoods Innovation Forum is a quest to find out what are the innovations that are taking shape in Maharashtra, what has worked so far in Maharashtra, what has impacted in rural livelihood space in Maharashtra, award them, award the best innovators, and get into partnerships in future with all the stakeholders who are coming here, who are getting celebrated, so that we reach out to these 45 lakh rural poor in a very time bound manner.
मला वाटतं एखादी हेल्पलाईन ही येणाऱ्या महिनाभराच्या काळामध्ये आम्ही कार्यान्वित करू. राज्यामध्ये त्याचा एकच नंबर असेल. कोल्हापूरमध्ये आपण साहेब एक प्रायोगिक तत्वावर जयंत पाटील साहेब ती हेल्पलाईन करायचा निर्णय आपण घेतलेला आहे. ती आता एक 8-10 दिवसामध्ये सुरू होत्या. त्यालाही चांगल्या पद्धतीनं प्रतिसाद मिळेल अशी अपेक्षा आहे. आणि म्हणून राज्याची जर आपण एक हेल्पलाईन केली, फक्त आणि फक्त महिलांचे बचत गट आणि NRLM कडे ती जबाबदारी आपण दिली तर मला वाटतं चांगल्या पद्धतीनं महिलांना माहिती ही या ठिकाणी उपलब्ध होऊ शकेल आणि तो करण्याचा प्रयत्न येणाऱ्या भविष्यात निश्चितपणे आम्हा सर्वांचा राहील.
I would like to speak about the women in this village of Kawada. Earlier the village used to get only one field which is depend on the rainy seasons. After forming a group, they have taken a facility of the water facility here, and now they are getting the horticulture in their house. So naturally the income has been raised, and the woman who has to go to the nearby industry or the construction workers, now she is getting she's earning money in their village only. MSRLM is to improve their livelihoods. Livelihoods means not only the incomes, it also improving their self-esteem. So a villagers or a woman who can be live with the self-respect, with the dignity, with their life. So MSRLM is not talking only about the BPL numbers, it's talking about the households. It's like giving the opportunities to the families to improve their status in the socio-economic scenario. So we work with the women, we are talking about the youths, adolescent girls, families, farmers, so everybody. So it's about the inclusion in the society who has been left due to the lack of opportunity.
Benchmarked against Millennium Development Goals, the world's largest poverty reduction mission is already beginning to make a scalable and a significant impact on livelihood enhancement of the poor. MSRLM holds a promise of a better future for the poor. The mission will strive to deliver the core objectives of financial inclusion, social inclusion, and economic inclusion, and facilitate access to entitlements for the poor rural communities in Maharashtra. That is the promise. That is the mission.